Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi directed to deal with the social issues related to the development of the Egyptian family in accordance with the facts of the social and cultural reality in Egypt. The president also directed to complete the whole aspects of developing the Egyptian family project and make use of the efforts exerted by the state's institutions in the framework of the national project of developing the villages of Egypt's countryside. The president's directives came during his meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Planning Hala Said, Minister of Health Hala Zaid, Minister of Social Solidarity Navina Qabbaj, Presidential Advisor for Health Affairs Muhammad Awad Taguddin, Head of the National Council for Women Maya Mursi, and Head of the Demographic Center at the Planning Ministry Amira Tadros. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said that the meeting tackled the national project for developing the Egyptian family. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi instructed to increase the number of outlets of Ahlan Ramadan goods and basic commodities at high qualities and suitable prices to meet the citizens' needs during the holy month. The president's directives came during his meeting on Monday with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Supply and Internal Trade Alim Sulhi, and Minister of Local Development Mahmoud Sha'rawi. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said that the meeting reviewed measures of upgrading the bakery system across the country and efforts of transferring them into natural gas-powered bakeries within the state strategy to depend on clean energy, which has positive, healthy, environmental and economic benefits. For his part, Musalhi reviewed the Ministry of Supply initiatives and its main exhibitions for providing food commodities for all citizens, especially to the most needy brackets, and the current situation for the strategic reserves of basic commodities for the next months. Meanwhile, Minister of Local Development discussed the latest preparations in all cities across Egypt ahead of the holy month of Ramadan and means of coordination with the governorates on providing goods and establishing exhibitions and outlets for selling food commodities during the holy month. The Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Mohammed Farid, and Chief of Staff of the Sudanese Armed Forces, Mohammed Osman, attended the final phase of the Egyptian-Sudanese joint drills, dubbed Nile Eagles II. The joint drills were carried out over the past few days in Sudan between units from Egyptian and Sudanese Air Forces and Special Forces. The forces carried out intensified training activities with the aim of refining skills to manage joint air operations with high efficiency. The troops conducted joint sorties to attack hostile targets and protect vital targets with the participation of multi-role fighter aircraft. The special forces of both sides trained on raids and stealth operations as well as firing from different shooting positions. The exercise aims to achieve the maximum possible benefit in terms of planning and carrying out air operations, as well as to measure the readiness of the forces to carry out joint operations on various objectives. Upon an invitation from the Democratic Republic of Congo, the current chairman of the African Union, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, participates in the two-day talks over the Ethiopia Dam in the Congolese capital Kinshasa. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry stressed Egypt's keenness to launch a serious and effective negotiations on the dam file with the aim of reaching a fair deal. Earlier, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi expressed Egypt's keenness on the success of negotiations on Ethiopia's disputed dam. This came in a message delivered by Shoukry to Congolese President Antoine Tshisekedi, who is the current chairman of the African Union. And in his message, the head of state expressed appreciation to efforts exerted by Congo to launch the talks with the aim of reaching a just, balanced, and legally binding agreement between Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia that would secure the interests of the three countries. Welcome back. Egypt's stock indices collectively slid in the trading session on Monday after being affected by profit-making selling operations in different categories. Analysts said that investors are curious to know updates concerning the performance of leading shares in the first quarter in the current fiscal year, besides the expected results of the coming IMF's and World Bank's meetings. So the benchmark EGX 30 index slid by 1.54%. The EGX 70 index for small and medium businesses also slid by 6.27%. And the broader EGX 100 index slid by 4.94%. After all indices slid by sales of investors, the market capitalization lost to close at £635.49 billion and with transactions of about £1.5 billion. Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Maid prospected for economic growth in Egypt of 2.8% during the current fiscal year and 5.4% in 2021-2022. Addressing HABI Economic Conference in Cairo on Monday, Maid added it is expected that total deficit to decrease by 7.7% during the current fiscal year and to reach 6.6% in the coming fiscal year. He also pointed that Egypt targets boosting exports in different fields with 25 billion Egyptian pounds in 2021-2022.